All right, guys. So we're back. Actually, it's the same day, but it's a different video. I'm wearing the same shirt, so it's the same day. I don't wear this clothes all the time. But anyways, we're back in base Lang school that teaches foreigners Spanish. And I'm with another professor, Sara.
Hola.
And we're going to do an interview. I'm going to get some more information from her. Now, I took a class with Sara the other day. Well, actually, with that first video I did at this school when I was taking the one-on-one classes, I did the majority of my class with Enrique, who you guys saw, and I did a 15-minute class with Sara because I overran my time with Enrique. All right, so that's good for the interview because I didn't get to ask her any questions or anything. So I know absolutely nothing about Sara. The only thing is, when I did the last video before, she saw a camera and she ran away, so I know she's nervous. But I told her, don't worry, it's simple, and my audience is wonderful people, and they're not going to be too hard on her, right? So let's go to the interview. All right, Sara, and we're going to do it in English, and she says have patience because it's been a while since she spoke English. All right, so let's see. Sara, how are you doing today?
I'm great.
Good.
How are you?
Good, thank you very much.
Okay.
And where are you from, Sara?
I'm from Medellin, Colombia.
You're from Medellin.
Yeah.
You're the first professor I've talked to from Medellin.
Oh yes, because both of them are Venezuelan.
Exactly. I've only talked to two other professors, and both are from Venezuela. So we have the first Paisa professor I get to interview. Excellent. So born and raised in Medellin.
Yes.
And are there more professors from Medellin here?
Yeah, most of them actually.
The majority of them.
Yeah.
So I just picked an unlucky time to come interview, I guess, where everybody's gone.
They're working right now online, but
Online.
yeah, most of them are Paisas. Yes.
Paisas. All right, that's good because Paisa Spanish is very easy to understand. It's easier to understand. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
When you guys aren't speaking like slang.
Yeah, exactly. When we speak like a neutral Spanish, it's quite easy to understand.
For sure.
Easier than Chilean
or even like Colombians on the coast.
Oh yeah, definitely. I cannot.
You don't even understand.
No, I barely understand them when they're speaking. Yeah.
So for you guys who think you speak Spanish and then you go to the coast of Colombia, you don't understand a word, don't feel bad because even Sara doesn't understand sometimes. Costeños, they're called costeños. And any costeños watching, we apologize, but you guys speak very fast. Okay. So how long have you been teaching Spanish?
I've been teaching Spanish for 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. I really started by sort of accident.
Okay.
Cause I went to school to become an artist. But I really didn't want to do that anymore.
Okay.
So I was like looking for new things to do, and I always loved learning languages. I've been studying English for a while, and now I'm learning French. So I said, okay, let's try to do this. I used to be an art teacher. So I know how to teach. I know how to transmit information.
Yes.
So yeah, I just tried and I loved it.
Excellent. That's awesome. So you said it was 3 years you've been teaching Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay. Now when you came to the school to Baselang, do they have like a formula that you follow? Like do they sit you down and say, okay, this is our way of teaching, and they actually give you instruction?
Okay, no. That's what I really like about teaching at Baselang, because we have like a curriculum, but you're free to develop your own method to teach.
Okay.
So that's amazing. So that's why we have like a lot of teachers, like a lot of different teachers. And for example, if you want to improve your pronunciation. There are like teachers who are specialized in this area. So yeah.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting because most other schools wouldn't do that. They would say, this is our way of teaching, this is how you do it. But you guys are almost like specialists. Each individual has their own specialty. And the beautiful thing about this school is that a student can choose any professor they want. And they can move to different, they can come if they're paying a certain type of, what's it called? Enrollment, or if they enrolled in a certain type of program, they can literally come here all day long and just switch professors every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Until they find the one that they click with. Interesting. All right, very good. So in the 3 years, I asked Mia this question in the other interview. Have you had any experience where you had somebody come with hardly any Spanish, like very, very basic, and you saw like dramatic improvement?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Okay. We've had. Okay, I can remember one.
Let's hold this real quick. I apologize. I'm gonna switch spots because this light is not very nice. I don't like the light. We're moving out to the table with the sunlight, so stay tuned. All right, guys, we're back, and if you guys made it this far, thank you. And she even agreed. Sarah even agreed that the light over there was almost like we're in a hospital. I was looking at my camera. I was like, oh my god, this looks bad. As she was talking, so we switched. Back to the question. Do you remember the question? Okay, in your experience, have you had any students that have come like with very basic Spanish, and then they had dramatic increase or improvement? Tell me about that situation.
Sure. Yeah, I can remember. Well, several students, but one of them was an older man.
Older man. Around what age?
75.
Holy cow. All right, so is it the same one that Mia told me about? She told me about a gentleman from Denver, Colorado that was 72.
No, he was from Canada.
Oh my god. So here we go. This is the second time I asked this question, and both times it's a gentleman in their 70s who has outstanding performance and development in Spanish. So that says a lot. Okay, carry on, please. 75 years old from Canada.
Yeah. And he came here for like 2 months. And he started like from scratch. He didn't know anything in Spanish, but hola, gracias, you know, like the basic travel words. And at first it was like hard for him because in my experience I've noticed that for like if you're older, if you start learning older, it's harder to you know just to get the information.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah. So the first month he could not speak very well. He could not communicate at all. The first month. After that first month, he started like he just like switched. He started like learning, and he started memorizing the words, and he started to have like conversations in Spanish after a month.
It took a month to get through that wall. He went through that wall of not knowing anything else, and he went through it, and now he can actually converse, which that's super impressive.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. And how many days a week was he coming? Was he taking the
6 days a week?
Was he taking the Grammarless program where you
No, he was not. He was doing Real World.
Real World. So basically, the difference between Grammarless and Real World, Grammarless is a set program to where you have a set professor. Correct me if I'm wrong, and you come 5 or 6 days a week for like 5 days a week for either 2 hours or 4 hours.
Yeah.
If you do it for a month, it's 4 hours a week, 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. If you do it for 2 months, it's 5 days a week, 2 hours a day for 2 months. But he didn't do that. He did the Real World, which is you just basically come whenever you want, any day you want, for how much time you want. So he was coming like, just 6 days a week or 5 days a week?
Yes, 6 days a week.
And how many hours a day was he coming?
2 or 3 hours a day.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and after a month, he could communicate with the guys at the cafe. He could like even have a conversations. Of course, he was not speaking perfect, but he was able to communicate with native speakers.
He was able to get out, like for example, if he was to go travel to Jardín by himself, he will be able to get around. Not if he got lost, talk to people, ask questions,
For sure.
find out if there's a place to rent, like a hotel, whatever. After 2 months.
After a month.
After 1 month.
Yeah, and then he could like improve. He could tell stories, and because he could learn like the past tense, and he could, yeah, he could like tell stories and everything. Yeah.
Have you ever taught at different schools, or is this your first school you taught at?
No, I used to teach.
Okay, you don't have to name the school.
Of course.
I won't even know if you did name it. But what's the difference you see between that old school and this school, like you as a professor?
Like the one-on-one classes and like the individual progress you have.
Okay.
Because, like the classic schools are group classes. They have like group classes, and it's like really hard to see like each student progress. So that's probably the biggest difference.
Okay, so you said that here the difference is the one-on-one, because you guys never have group classes. It's always one-on-one.
Yes.
And the individual style of teaching, like each individual student is different, so you mold that your style to teach them different based on each individual student.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best qualities we have as teachers.
Sounds like it, especially here, yeah.
Because we have this, we're able to adapt to like each person needs. So for example, if we're having a class with prepositions, for example, but you have a question with the past tense or about the past tense, we can like literally switch into this review, this past tense review and everything, like to adapt, in order to adapt the program to you.
You can find, and that happened to me, because as I said before, I'm pretty advanced in Spanish, I'm level 7, but I still need, there's a lot of things that I do wrong. And when I was taking classes with someone else online, I was actually doing an online class, and they saw that I was having problems with this specific area of Spanish. They actually went back a lesson. I was on level 7 a lesson. They went back to level 4 on a different lesson and actually began the teaching of that certain thing I was having to struggle with. So that's awesome, because in a group class with 10 people, you can't really do that, because some people might be more advanced or faster learners than other people.
Exactly. And you have like a very structured program for all of the class.
Exactly. So that sounds like the reason why you're able to have those stories of people, in a 75-year-old gentleman from Canada coming and learning in 2 months how to speak Spanish to enough where he could travel Colombia by himself.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Now, have you guys had people come here, for example, say they're back in the States or their home country and they want to get a promotion at work, but they need to speak Spanish? Have you had people come here just like take that 1 month intense class and go back and actually get the promotion?
Of course, yeah. I think like the most important subject, or no, let me think. Like two of the most important reasons to come here and learn are traveling and work. Those are like the most like the biggest reasons for our students to come here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hold that thought real quick. 1 second. All good? All right, guys. So I'm changing the angle. I'm trying to be more innovative with my filming, as they say. So I'm changing the angle. See how this comes out. If it doesn't come out well, oh well. Anyways, you were saying that you think the two most important things that the reasons why people come here to study is because of work and because of travel.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me some examples of people coming from somebody coming because of work, like they came for the month. Give me an example of that. Like, give me a situation.
I can recall this person from New Jersey.
You want to speak a little louder?
Okay.
New Jersey, yes.
Yeah, from New Jersey, and he was a lawyer, and he worked with this company who had like cases, like legal cases, all around Latin America, and he really needed to speak in Spanish at the court. So that's like one of the people.
One of the reasons. So when he came, how was his Spanish?
Well, he was already conversational.
Conversational.
Yeah.
Like at my level, more or less. Okay, at my level.
Yeah.
And then how long did he stay for?
He stayed here for like 2 months.
2 months. And
no, 1 month.
1 month. What was his curriculum like? What did you guys focus on?
Pretty much the same, like you, subjunctive.
You remember my problems.
I do.
She remembers my problems I was having. Okay, what is it called again?
Subjunctive.
Subjective. Okay, I don't even remember what I can't do, but she, as a good professor, remembers. And that came how many weeks ago, or last week, or how long ago was it when I was here? It was last week, no?
Yeah.
It was last week, and she still remembers. She has other students she works with. She still remembers my problem, and I was only with her for 15 minutes. That's excellent. Good job. I'm impressed. So he had problems like me, like having to change the words like for difficult conversations. Okay. And what about like, did he have to concentrate more on legal terms, like in his business, or not really?
No.
He already knew that.
He actually did that before coming here. So what we did once was like comparing from like one country to another, like different laws and all of those things.
And after a month, how was his progress?
He had a no idea how to say
You don't
it.
remember? It was a long time ago.
No, I do remember, but I don't have the words in English to say.
Tell me
that.
in Spanish.
Tuvo un progreso muy grande.
Tuvo un progreso muy grande, which means he had a progression very, very big.
Okay.
Literally,
Really?
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Really? So he went from like, would you say he almost got to native speaking? Which course did he take though?
The last real world.
Real world.
Yeah, because he was focused on like the last grammar topics, and then the conversation and all of the legal not terms, but
vocabulary.
Situations.
Oh, situations. Okay,
Yeah.
legal situations
Yeah.
and scenarios. So, for example, like, because you guys have that 1 month intense course.
Yes.
For him, that wouldn't be good.
No.
Because that's more for like
he
basic.
was already conversational. Yeah.
So that 1 month intense is like somebody from like very low level to ramp them up and get them going.
Exactly.
Okay, but someone like him or like for me, it should be real world, and the program, the curriculum molded to what I need, and just dig deep. I think I'm gonna have to come for a month to get to native because even though I feel comfortable speaking Spanish, there's sometimes I don't feel comfortable speaking, especially like in groups, in group situations where there's more like all native speakers and they're all talking amongst each other. I don't feel comfortable enough to actually jump into that conversation with everybody.
Sure, because when you're like thinking about the answer, then the topic of the subject already moved on.
Not so much because I think in Spanish already, and I
Okay,
understand
cool.
in Spanish. But for me to express myself,
Okay.
my to express myself in a way that's fast and understandable, where the whole group can understand me all at once. Maybe I can do it, yes,
Okay.
but I have fear that it's not to that point, like not so perfect that I'm not, I don't, how do you say, second guess myself, never. It doesn't stop me, you know what I mean? So I would love to get to that point. And I can have that by coming here. Maybe I want to come for a full month and see if I can go from where I'm at to native. We'll see. Stay tuned for that. Anyway, so what other questions do I have you? What is your favorite thing about teaching Spanish to foreigners?
I really, really, really love teaching in general.
Okay.
Like I can teach, or I think I can teach almost everything because I love. I think this is life, like teaching and learning things, like teaching and learning everything. So, so yeah, basically, I love teaching. I love languages. That's like my passion. So if I can transmit information, and I can also do what I love, which is languages every day. So that's like the perfect combination in life, and I get paid for it. So
And you get paid for it.
It's perfect.
Excellent. And at the same time, there's no pressure for you to follow a certain way of teaching. You can develop your own way
Exactly.
and go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, what have you seen? Like, I know obviously each individual student is different, and they need but is there like a how you say it, a norm, like every individual student has something that's very similar? Like you say, okay, there's this strategy here, I need to implement this way, or is it always different for every student?
It's always different, but conversation, or yeah, I think conversation is like the key to improve, because some students come here with a lot of grammar structures, but they cannot communicate. So for me, like conversation is like what I really, really think it works the most to improve your skills in a language, in every language.
And what would be some tips you would give? Like, for example, say a student comes the first day. Like, what kind of tips would you give them to help accelerate that learning? Obviously conversational, but anything else?
Okay. Well, I tell them what I did when I was like really learning English, because I learned by watching movies, and well, most of my English I learned it by watching movies and listening to music. So that's what I tell them to do, and try to speak as much as possible in the target language.
Excellent. And I actually agree with that, because when I was learning Spanish, what I did was I immersed myself in Spanish. Even though I didn't understand the language, I listened to Spanish music. When I was in the car, I would have Spanish music playing, and actually it relaxed me because I didn't understand a word they were saying. It kind of flowed over my head, so I didn't concentrate on the words, as I heard the melodies as I was in traffic, right? So it relaxed me. But then little by little, I started picking up a word here, a word there, you know, putting a couple words together. Yeah, that's a great tip, guys. Before you guys come to Colombia and you want to learn Spanish, just start listening to Spanish music while you're driving. Listen to Spanish podcasts, listen to Spanish movies, right?
Yes.
Watching a movie that you know by heart in English and watching it in Spanish.
For example, Disney movies are great because they have like simple language, and we've all very watched them since we were kids. So you know like the plot.
Right.
And it's like easier to understand, and you can like focus on the words and structures and those things because you already know the plot.
Okay. And when you take on a new client, a new student who's very basic in English, in Spanish, do you're mostly speaking English to them, or are you like talking only Spanish to them?
It depends, because some of them are like scared, a little bit scared to like full exposure to Spanish. So I tend to switch from Spanish to English.
Excellent.
But yeah, when they get like to a certain level, I don't use English at all.
Okay. And here's an off question that's not even about school. What are the things you like doing outside of class, outside of school? You said art.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I love art. All kinds of art. And I like to sing. I like singing and painting, of course, because that's what I did some years ago, a few years ago. What else? I love sports.
What kind of sports you play?
Oh, well, I don't play anymore, but I used to play rugby.
Oh my God, you're the second girl that's told me that played rugby here in Colombia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Did you play with a team or?
I did, yeah.
Yeah? That's great. How long did you play rugby for?
For 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about rugby. I think most people in the States don't know about rugby, but we have people from other countries that are watching this. So tell me in the comments who knows about rugby. So what position did you play? I don't know if you tell me. What position?
Okay. You will love this.
What's that?
I used to be a hooker.
So she used to be a hooker, but not the type of hookers you think in the States. The type in rugby. What is a hooker in rugby? Explain to me that.
Okay, hooker is.
Sounds so bad.
I know. I told you.
Yeah. Tell me. What kind of hooker were you?
Well,
I'm sorry. What is a hooker?
If I can explain that in
English.
In English, yeah.
Well, I'll be your professor.
Okay. So, we have like the forwards. A hooker is one of the forwards.
Okay.
They're like strong. They are like leaders. The hooker is the number 2.
Okay.
The shirt number 2. And they're like leaders in the forwards. That's like the front row. We have 1, 2, 3. So the 2 is like the leader. What else? Have you ever watched rugby game? No? Okay. Have you ever heard about scrum? Okay, scrum is like
Were you guys getting a bunch?
Yeah.
Okay, I know about that. And like you push someone up or whatever.
No, that's another one.
Oh.
But in order to what?
Explain to me in Spanish real quick, then I'll explain in English.
Para cuando la pelota está muerta,
Sí.
Una persona necesita ingresar el balón y el resto de los delanteros, de los forwards, están empujando para recuperar el balón. Y el número 2 es quien hooks, hace un gancho para recuperar la pelota.
Sacar la pelota.
Exactamente.
Okay, so basically it's when they put the ball in the middle of a group of people, everybody's pushing, and the hook goes and hooks or does a gancho to try to get the ball out of the group of people. And you had to dive into a bunch of people.
Not really.
No.
We're like tied by our arms, yeah. And we do that with the feet, with our foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no pads. Did you ever break any bones?
I did.
Yeah, you're a tough girl. Sarah's a tough girl, so don't make her wait for class. Don't show up late. Show up on time. Because she's gonna gancho you. Anyways, well, I think that's long enough interview. Any last words or anything to say that to the future students that possibly might join?
Sure, you're all very welcome.
All very welcome, and like I said in other videos, there should be some links in the description, also in the pinned comment. If you go through that link, get extra discount, and yeah, go through the link, help out the channel. See y'all next video. Bye.